everybody? Welcome back to our channel, the Three Vagabonds. But today I'm humping Edwa.
No, sir.
I've got my great mate here, Thendo from the Palesa and Thendo channel. He's making his Three Vagabond debut.
Yeah.
Long overdue, dog.
My dog. Like I've been waiting for this call. Yes, I've been waiting for this.
Welcome, my G.
Man. Thank you, boy.
Away. So today, guys, we're gonna be doing a special segment talking about life in the classroom in Korea, specifically middle school. We're gonna be doing a series of these. We're gonna talk about elementary, middle school, high school, but I'm gonna be tackling middle school today. And I've got Thendo, who's recently moved to middle school, and he's gonna tell us a bit about that experience. So, but before we start, Thendo, for the what's the word? For the joy or for the knowledge of our South African viewers, for lack of a better word, what is middle school? Because we don't have that in SA.
So basically, middle school, like according to my own personal understanding, right? It's the gap between primary school and high school. Because if I'm not mistaken, here elementary is from first grade up until sixth, and then middle school it's seventh, eighth, nine. I think maybe 10 too. I'm not sure about that one. And then I think high school begins from like the 10th grade, 10, 11, 12. So they have 3 years in high school, 4 years in middle school, and then like 6 years in elementary. And throughout all three stages, you literally see different personalities, bro. Like, it's crazy. Like, when I first moved here, and I'm here in middle school, I legit just know primary school, high school, like you're 14, you're in grade 8, you're chilling with 18-year-olds. It's normal.
Yeah.
But like here, even when I tell my students, we don't have middle school, they're like, what?
What's a middle school?
What? No middle school, like,
Yeah.
where do you go? I'm like, high school. They're like, at 14 in high school. I'm like, yeah. And then I think now that I'm a middle school teacher, I'm actually seeing why it's so beneficial. So yeah, I guess for them it works.
I like that you've touched on that. I was specifically thinking about talking about your teaching aspect, but since you've gone into it, what do you think about that specific system of elementary, middle school, and high school? What do you think of it, and do you think it fits in South Africa?
Okay, like for us, nah, we already don't like school.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like I was already like tired of school when I was like in grade 10. And now I think the whole concept of having 3 different types of schools is gonna be a lot. And now also like our education system, it's not, I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's not like the greatest as well. Because when you look at it, we have like some really, really disadvantaged schools. We've got kids still learning under a tree. We've got kids like in the bushes and stuff, my dog. So now, if they want to like introduce this element of middle school, I just feel as if resources are just going to get stretched even more. Things aren't going to go the way that people think they should go.
Yeah.
So I think us just following, I guess, the British way of just going from primary to high school, my dog, don't fix it if it's not broken.
Yeah. But in a perfect world, right?
Yeah.
If we look at outside the needing of facilities and all the important points that you've mentioned, from a personal perspective or from a student perspective, the jump from elementary to high school or primary to high school is sometimes difficult.
Yeah.
Do you think on that level for the students, having that bridge of middle school helps them develop easier and helps them integrate easier into a high school life?
Okay, when you put it in that way, I think it's alright. Because if you think about it, when they're in, okay, especially here in Korea, when they're in elementary, they legit treat these kids like eggs. Even when they are like in the 6th grade. Just because this person is now top dog, or that they're becoming a hard-boiled egg. They're becoming a hard-boiled egg, and they still treat them as if like, oh crap, don't drop him. They go to middle school and they kind of get treated like an adult, but still like a child.
Mm.
And I can still see like they still baby them in the classrooms.
Yeah.
Like I have students going to sleep. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even offended, bro. Like,
Do you?
do you, man? Like, as
Yeah.
long as you're not making a noise, get sharp. And you can see, like, from first grade, second, third in middle school, the way that they handled them, it's still with the thing of like, look, last year you were in this grade, now you're here. So which with each level that they go higher, the nurturing side of like the teachers also like switches.
Okay. And for you as a teacher now,
Yeah.
as the guy that's molding these students, what's it like the move from elementary to middle school?
Like I won't lie, like I've taught at all three now.
Yeah.
Like I've taught at high school and elementary and middle school. So coming to middle school, I didn't exactly know what to expect
Sure.
because I'm used to elementary. I feel like we all are.
Mm.
We all like elementary up to like a certain point.
Yeah.
And then when they put me in high school 2 years back, I'm just there like, yo, these kids are gonna hate me. Like I know, like when I was in high school, I was a good kid. I listened.
Yeah.
But there were always those ones who didn't want to listen. I was like, yo, how am I gonna handle this?
Sure.
Because remember, like all the times I was telling you about a sixth grader who was sitting here, who was sitting here, my dog.
Sure.
Like I'm a grown man,
Mm.
and I'm chilling, thinking to myself, yo, how am I gonna handle middle school? It was a nice shock, dog. Because my students, I realized like they just in grade 7. There's no difference between them, like my first years in middle school and my sixth graders in elementary school. It's just that now they're more self-aware, and it makes it easier for me to like actually teach them. So like whenever like I'm teaching them and stuff, they actually talk back.
Yeah.
I'll ask a question, I see a hand, I'm like, okay, this is nice, this is nice. I'm like, go.
Yeah.
And then like you have students, I feel like as all teachers we have students where their English is really good. You've got great, you've got okay, and then you've got bokol,
Yeah.
like dirt nada. But I keep telling them like even if you say one word, I'm happy. And that's what also gives them that confidence, like he won't laugh at me even if I just say one word. I'll ask a question and they think I want a whole sentence. I'm like, nah, dog. Give me one word.
Yeah.
That way I know that I'm not talking to myself. And you just see them book. I'm like,
One word. I got my one word.
it's one word, but we're talking about music. But yes, a book, you know, a book.
How different is the preparation from middle school or from elementary to middle school? Yeah.
They're not actually that different, right? The only thing that's different is I can make up my own lessons.
Okay.
So I have a textbook, but like my co-teacher was like, look, you can use this or not. You can come with your own lessons. So the very first lesson, I just used the textbook, because now I'm like there like, yo, I don't know what to teach you.
Yeah.
And lucky for me, the first lesson in the textbook was the whole thing about introducing themselves.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just there like, yo, God, thank you. And so it just became this whole thing of I was making them speak the whole time. Like I'll just choose a random number, they'll be there standing up, hi, my name is, I am 14 years old, I live, my favorite food is, I'm like, cool. And like now, I'm teaching them like about music, right? About like pop music and stuff, right? I found this great folder on Coreshare, like yo, if you're a teacher in Korea, Coreshare, Weguk, those are your best friends.
Sure.
And I got those, like my dude, it's literally, if I want to, I can teach that for 9 weeks straight, because I only see them once a week. And every week it's a different lesson, because I'm talking about a different artist, there's new words, there's games. And yesterday was actually my best lesson, because I was teaching them about, who's that chick? About Dua Lipa. And they went crazy. I'm like, who's this? They're like, oh, Dua Lipa. I'm like, oh, you know her. I guess, teacher. They started singing her songs in class. I'm like, I'm about to milk this. So the prep, my dude, it's much more easy.
And you've done all three now. Which one would you say is your favorite and why?
Yeah. Like it's weird. Like it's what we started teaching in March, right?
Yeah.
It's April now, so I've been basically at a middle school for like less than a month, or roughly a month. But I'm enjoying middle school more. Like I've done elementary from the get go, and each school is different, right? I never liked my main school last year because the kids were just crazy.
Yeah.
I liked certain classes, but the whole structure of it, I was not about how they disciplined them. Like, I had students that literally abuse their teachers, throw them with papers, talk back. And I'm like, guys, what's gonna happen to this kid? Like, nothing happens. I'm like, if now this kid is just gonna do all of this, he's not gonna respect me.
Yeah.
So, high school as well. I taught at what they call the lowest level high school in Jeju. And yo, those kids didn't give a damn about me, dog.
Zero.
They were cuddling in class. They were cuddling in class, my dog. And with middle school, they can be bored out their minds, but once I say, guys, give me energy, they even like, energy, yeah! They'll literally just shout random words. I'm like, you know what?
Let's go.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
And then that's when the lesson goes by quicker. So I enjoy middle school just based on the fact that we have that understanding. Like they know, like I'm not too strict, but I'm not too flexible.
Yeah.
Not flexible, lenient.
Lenient, sure.
I'm flexible. So middle school, hands down.
Okay.
Hands down.
Before we wrap up, we've got last two questions. What's been your worst? It's not the worst classroom experience.
Not last year, my sixth graders at my main school. There's three. Like what pisses me off, I still know these kids' names. Like all my good students. Maybe I know 2, 3, but these 3 boys, and they're in one class. I don't know what they ate that day, what they drank that day, but my dog, they just went off. Like they'd be fighting in their classroom, they'd be fighting in the hallway. They come to English, they'd be there like just talking. I'm like, nah, keep quiet. Then like they're quiet, the homeroom teacher comes in, tries to calm them down. The other one's throwing papers at her. He's eating the paper, like, you know, like a spitball. He's there. I'm there like, nah, go pick that up. He'll pick it up, throws it at the teacher, like, dude, this teacher, like, she's pale in complexion. She went red, she was flustered. She literally had to go to the window to get some air because apparently 2 days before that, those same 3 boys, they got to her nerves so much that she almost passed out.
What makes this job fulfilling for you? Or like say, yes, I'm not possibly a teacher by profession, but this makes it worth it.
Honestly, like when you have students come up to you and actually speak to you, and if you've been at the school long enough, you actually see this kid's development, right? Because I've had students where 3rd, 4th grade, they really didn't care about English. Like, they wouldn't bother. But they were actually retaining the information, which was weird. Because, like, they'd be there, hello, teacher, my name is... I'm there, like, oh, I taught you this. Me, you know? Like, it's very fulfilling when a kid comes back and, like, uses what you taught them with you, you know? And, like... But like it's nice when actually kids use like all the information that like you actually teach them. Especially like my middle school. I was actually teaching them different ways of saying hello.
Yeah.
And for those 2 weeks I was like, nah, don't say hello to me, don't say good morning. Okay, use these words. If you see me, use these words. I had these boys that they're just there. My man! I'm there like, yo, no.
Yeah.
You're like killing me. I'm there like, what's up? They be there. Ah, my man, what's up? Like, yeah, you good? And they're like, yes, teacher, good. I'm like, nice, man. Till this day, they know when they see me in the hallway, they're just there. My man,
What's good?
What's good? I'm there, like, yeah, like those moments, those little victories mean the most right now.
Before I say goodbye, shout out to your own channel here.
Oh yeah. It's a lot. So, yeah. So like, if you don't already follow us, my wife and I have our own channel. It's called Palace and Thendo. We basically showcase love here in Jeju, in Korea. Y'all probably know Palace already. If you want some information on how to get to Korea, just search for Palace Jonas. It's the wrong surname, but. We're not gonna get into it, but hit her up on YouTube. You'll get all the information that you need about getting here. But if you just love, hit up Palesa Thendo on YouTube. And yeah, man, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe as well. Do.
Alright, guys, make sure you check out those channels, especially the love channel, guys. Take notes. It's hard and cold on the streets of Korea, Buffet. Trust me.
It's
Korea. Korea getting married, Buffet. So thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Umzulu. Wase Korea lo, and I'm out. Awe.